relationships as part of emotional poise?
Yeah, it's a great question. Would I count personal relationships? One of the things that people often volunteer when I'm asking for this list is healthy relationships or personal relationships or a significant other or meaningful work. I mean, there are a lot of things that people suggest. And I've boiled all of that down to emotional poise. None of those things in and of themselves are critically important. The question is, do they bring us to a place where we're emotionally poised or not? I mean, I can imagine, like most of us, I think, require healthy relationships in order to be our best. Most of us, I think, need that. But in order for it to be a key, it has to be necessary for every single human being. And I can imagine a yogi sitting on top of a mountain by himself, meditating, being perfectly fine. Maybe not needing anyone else. I think that's possible. Can you see how that could be possible? The key is, if you're sitting up there going, oh, I'm so alone, yeah, you're not going to be very healthy. So if you can do that and still be emotionally poised, you're good. Most of us, I think, need relationships to maintain that level of emotional poise. We don't want to do this alone. We don't do as well doing it completely alone. We all need that community. Can be our family, our real family, or it can be the family we choose to be with. I love my family, my blood family. Don't want to live with them. Okay? We get to choose. We get to choose that. So for me, all those things are really part of this. Is meditation, is that a key? No. I mean, it's entirely possible. There are people who can spontaneously go into this place where they can just turn this off. Not very many. Most of us need the practice to do that. That's what meditation's for, right? To turn off the monkey mind so we can just be. But there are people who don't need to practice meditation. And the other side is also true. There are a lot of people say to me, oh, I can't meditate. I can't do it. I just keep thinking. Well, the harder it is, the more you need to practice. That's what practice is. If you're already an expert, you don't need to practice. Perhaps. Right? So the key is to find a way to interact with life in such a way that you're never destroyed by what happens. No matter what happens. How do we do that? Well, I think there are several things that can help contribute to creating this level of emotional poise. And the first piece is to be completely clear, and I talked about this a little bit before, that we're creating everything. Or co-creating. Like what's happening here right now, this is a co-creation of everyone here. I'll take full responsibility, but the truth is that every one of us here is affecting what's going on here. Okay, this is a co-creation of everyone. And yet, what I would encourage you to do would be to take full responsibility for everything in your life, even where other people are involved. That's a huge piece. Because again, when we take responsibility, what we're saying is, I'm not a victim here. And the last thing you want to do is embrace victim consciousness. Because now you've completely disempowered yourself. You've given your power away. That's something I'll never do. I'd much rather say, okay, I had a hand in this. I don't know how, why, but I did. And as a powerful creator, I can now create something else. I can create something different. I can change this. Victims are powerless to do that. That's why I would encourage you to never accept victim consciousness. Okay, that's the first piece. The second piece, always be gentle with yourself. Always. When you make mistakes, and you will, because that's what we do, that's how we learn and grow. We're here to learn and grow. We don't learn and grow if we don't make mistakes. Okay, you're going to make mistakes in probably every area of your life. That's okay. Be gentle with yourself. Forgive yourself. A couple weeks ago, we covered a section in the book that we read for evening meditations, talking about this. But if you weren't here, you don't need anyone else's forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself. It might be nice to have other people's forgiveness, but it's not necessary. What's necessary is that you forgive yourself. And it's easy to do if you can remember and embody the idea that you always do your best. One of the 4 agreements. How many of you know the 4 agreements, the book, The 4 Agreements? If you don't know it, you should pick it up and look through it. It's an easy read. You can probably read the whole book in an hour. Okay, 4 simple agreements. The idea is that most people go through life with all kinds of agreements, like, I'm not okay, there's something wrong with me, I don't belong here. All these disempowering agreements. And the idea is we get rid of those, and we take on empowering agreements instead. One of which is, always do your best. Because if you're doing the best you can you reasonably be hard on yourself for not doing better? Can you expect yourself to do better than you can do? No. You can't do any better than you can do. So if you're doing the best you can, which is going to change from moment to moment, right? There'll be some days you'll be able to do better than other days. And of course, as we go through life, hopefully our best improves. So what was our best 20 years ago is no longer our best. We can do better than that now. Because we've grown, we've matured, we've become wiser. Hopefully, right? But if we always do our best, how do we beat ourselves up? That's where I was at the time. That's what I was capable of at the time. Okay? So you want to always be gentle with yourself. You want to always forgive yourself. Always. And it's easy to do if you're actually doing the best that you can do at all times. And no one can ask any more of you. And if other people attack you, belittle you, hate you, and you know you're doing the best that you can do, why would it matter? Okay? You can be okay with yourself. The question is, can you sleep at night? Can you go to bed with a clear conscience? The answer should be yes, if you're doing the best you can. Okay, is that clear? Okay? Again, forgive the mistakes of the past. We're here to learn and grow. I said this before, I'll say it again. We've all been to the mall. There's that big sign, the big map of the mall. There's a little red arrow that says, "You are here." You've all seen this, right? Yep. Did you notice it doesn't say, "And this is how you got here, you dumbass"? It doesn't say that. Because it doesn't make any difference what happened yesterday, last year, 20 years ago, 2 minutes ago. What matters is, what do you choose to do now? You are where you are. You're right here, right now, at this point in your life. All the events of your life, they've already happened. Did you contribute to them? Absolutely. We create all of it. But the question is, what are you going to create now? A lot of people use their past as an excuse for why they can't become what they're capable of becoming. It's a lie. It's an excuse. Don't do that. If you're really committed to being the best you can, stop doing that. I get it. Maybe you grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. Okay, maybe your father beat you. Maybe your mother didn't love you. Maybe you had all the disadvantages one could have. And yet, here you are, capable of making any choice that you want to. There's nothing to stop you from creating whatever you choose to create. Stop allowing for limitations that aren't real. That's what most people do. Study successful people. You will find it will be very unlikely, very unusual that you'll hear someone successful say, "I can't do that." But a lot of people say it all the time. I hear it all the time from clients. I'll say, I think what you mean is it's not as important enough for you to figure out how to do it. Because there's always a way. Yeah. You're not going to hear me say I can't do something. I'll say instead, I'll say, how can I do that? I don't know how. How can I? And we ask an open-ended question to this amazing computer, and you know what happens? We get an answer. As soon as we say, I can't do that, we've shut ourselves down. That's it. You're done. Henry Ford once said, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. These are just a couple of key concepts to help us deal with life in a way that no matter what happens, we're okay. We could elaborate, and maybe we'll come back to the subject another time. But this is critically important. Ultimately, we have to find a way to be willing to be with our emotions. Because until we do that, we're going to continue to make choices specifically to suppress emotions. And that means we stay sick. Hi, enjoying my videos? If you'd like to learn much more, check out the Academy for Vibrant Living, where our Vibrant Health course will teach you everything you need to know to take your health to an amazing new level. And if you'd like to turn your passion for health into a lucrative career, check out the Health Coaching course, where you can become a professional, certified health coach and help as many people as possible see amazing results.